It's from Matt. You can punch a fan in the face, but you'll know who will win the amazing race. You can ban Jack from Twitter, but one thing you can't ban is your Ramblecast fan. Well, now you know that we chat one time a week, one time amongst ourselves. So come on and join some, 'cause the broads, they ain't fun. Come on and join the Ramblecast.
I got it, and I'm being honest. That might be your best one yet, just with the last line.
Man, that was brutal.
Oh man.
Well, you know, when you have the chance to pull the trigger,
I guess so.
They're not listening anyway, right?
No. I don't think they are they?
Not after that.
I doubt it. Yeah, I'll know when I submit. I'll know when I submit the notes tomorrow whether or not I get a hate message from Colleen going, "I can't believe you said that."
Oh, she'll listen.
Yeah,
she'll listen. You know, to make sure she does, we should have put a commercial break right after your song. So we're all back here. Last week, Chris, you were sick. It turned out you had. You want to tell everyone?
Yeah. So
you have a weak immune system.
That was last Thursday night. And I was like, gents, I feel like absolute dog shit, and I'm not going to record tonight. I went to bed.
And I felt bad going back and listening to Nick and Matt just blast you the whole time. I was like,
I would have done the same thing. I'm not going to hold it against them. And that's why I would be the best Amazing Race partner. I mean, it's just true. But so I went to bed like, I don't know, 8:30, 8 o'clock. I don't even know what the hell it was. And then I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had violent shivers. Like I couldn't shake it. Like I couldn't get rid of the cold. It was actually kind of scary. And then so I took like a 40-minute shower.
Did your wife wake up, or did she keep sleeping?
No. Actually, she sleeps like a rock. So I woke up and I took like a 45-minute shower at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Just to warm up. Yeah. And then I was like, oh fuck. So Friday morning rolls around. I called out of work. I'm like, guys, I feel like absolute dog shit. I can't come to work today. I tested at 1 o'clock in the morning. I took a test just to make sure I wasn't like having COVID, and it was negative. So but literally, hi. Well, look at Randy. He's in Auckland.
Oh, nice, in New Zealand. Yeah,
awesome.
Randy
dude.
says, "Hi, RCAD. I just boarded a plane to Auckland, New Zealand.
In Auckland,
probably
in Auckland.
That's where he was last week.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
probably we'll sign off.
Remember,
when the doors shut. You tell flight attendant. You tell the flight attendants you're an American, and you're listening to the RCAD, and they'll let you continue to.
Like, what fucking flight from Auckland to anywhere do you not have Wi-Fi? Is my first question, because that's like brutal.
I bet it would be expensive though, to do the whole Trans-Pacific Wi-Fi the whole time. But,
I'm sure he's flying first class.
Yeah, no doubt. Only Randy does the best. Yeah.
So I took the test at like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was fine, and then I tested again the next day, or like midday, just for shits and giggles, because my company gives me like all these tests. I have tons of tests. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take another one just to be sure, because I was like dragging ass on Friday. So as I got on noontime, I took a test, and sure enough, it was positive. I was like, oh fuck. 3 years it took me. 3 years until I actually got COVID.
I hear it's bad. I hear it's bad.
And I'll just say this, man. Like, I'm grateful to have been as vaccinated as I have been, because if I can't imagine what that shit would have been like if I wasn't, because that was fucking brutal. The first like 24, 36 hours, I don't actually remember a whole lot. I do remember watching like the Highlander, like was on some TV channel, like on a marathon. You know when you're sick and you're watching TV and shit's just all fucked up. You know, and you're like, yeah, what the fuck? Like
then it gets in your. Then when you go to sleep, it's in your dream.
Yeah, dude, I had a fucking Highlander COVID dream. It was wild.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, but it was. I was watching Highlander. I forgot which ones they were. It ended with the one where Duncan MacLeod comes over and jumps into the end game. I think it's called the original OG end game. But yeah, so it was crazy. And then I just last night. Today got my sense of taste and smell back.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, dude,
you lost your taste, huh?
I'll tell you,
did you ever have taste?
Yeah, there's the joke waiting for it to happen.
To be fair, you said that same joke about me when I had
100%. Again, this is why I'd be a great fucking amazing race partner. I can dish them out and I can take them
because you're a dick.
Yeah, that's true. But I'll tell you, of all those crazy symptoms of being tired and coughing and everything, one of the worst, and you don't realize until you're in the middle of it, psychologically, is not having taste or smell. It's fucking awful. Not being able to taste food or smell anything.
Some people don't get it back, right? Some people have not.
Some people don't. But I'm telling you, I didn't eat for a while because there's this weird psychological connection of I don't really want to go and just chomp on this crap in my mouth and not have to not know what it is. It was just such a weird psychological sensation. No, you can't taste anything, Jack.
I know,
you're chewing.
You don't know what it is. I mean, you can see what it is. I mean, it's
no shit, Jack. My point is,
clearly his other senses came alive. Just like Daredevil, he was able to
Here's an apple. What is that? What am I eating?
But you can't. The psychological connection to actually tasting the food you're eating is weird.
My wife said that it was
you never would have ever thought that before.
If I ever get it, I will.
I was glad that I never lost the taste thing.
My God.
In fact, I kept track of it. I was like, I can taste this. I was really conscious.
I
was conscious of it as I ate food.
I just got this the week before. I got this brand new pound of coffee from this roaster in Boston, and it was really fucking great coffee. And I ground it up and I inhaled it as if I was huffing coffee. I was like, this is air. I can't smell a fucking thing. The one of those strong smells ever. It's freshly ground coffee, and I could not smell a goddamn thing. But yeah, I got it back now.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I drink a ton of water though. That's for damn sure.
But
that's like a racehorse.
That I did that a lot. I drank a lot of water, stayed hydrated, and I tried to dry the shit out of my sinuses so that I could sleep at night. So
yeah,
that's what I'm amazed is everyone I meet who's had COVID, how it affected everybody differently. Because I told you, all four of my main family had it at the exact same time because my mom gave it to us all. But mom's was just like a cold, she just runny nose, was just sneezing and coughing, but she seemed fine. Then my dad was like, well, I don't have COVID, but my back's been killing me for 3 days. And that's one of the symptoms.
That's right. I had fucking back pain too.
Yeah. And that's all his was. He was perfectly fine. He could breathe, he could walk, but his entire muscles up and down his back were just so tense that he's like, I just feel like I got to sit because it hurts so bad. And then
I haven't felt this way since I was
your lower
giving
back.
it to your mom.
That's where it was too.
I'm glad someone heard that joke.
Yeah, not a visual. I want to.
My back hasn't hurt.
I'm sure Nick's okay with it.
Giving it to your mom.
Oh Jesus!
And then my sister's the one that it really hit the hardest because she was throwing up, and had the back end as well as the front ends, and then me, it was just shortness of breath. I would sit in the chair, and as soon as I would stand up, I just be like, no, I've got to sit back down, and then but other than that, I was fine. So that's what I mean. It's just even within my family, all four of us were completely different.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the first 36 hours, I was asleep for about 30 of them.
Yeah, Jack's I think I'm the last American not to have gotten it.
You're the last.
Last
man
standing.
It was interesting though because
last of the Arcadians.
When Chris got it, both my dad and my stepmom had gotten it right at the same time. So I just was kind of thinking we're in this wave now where everyone who has had the vaccine or who has not had the vaccine and somehow escaped it this long, it's finally coming around to those last individuals. But we're at that herd immunity, I suppose, where everybody's either been jabbed, stuck, or dead from it. So,
well, now my son is sick.
No, oh, does he have it?
He doesn't have. Well, we haven't confirmed positive yet, but I mean, it's likely that he does.
But you can see how bad you felt, and I've heard other stories. Where, like you said, where would we be without the vaccine?
Holy fuck! Like I don't even know. Like if it was worse than that, like I don't even want to know what the fuck it was because it was bad. It was like really bad for like 2 to 3 days. It was like awful, and then the rest was just like meh, fuck. Like I feel like shit, and I just pile on the fact that I can't smell or taste anything. On top of that, it's just a pain.
And there was probably a week after, like there was like the first week, and then there was like the second week where I just was kind of foggy. Like I was just kind of like foggy in my head. Like I was just like, people would be like, "What's this equation?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's what I do." So what?
Just thinking out loud, man. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm just thinking out loud here. Cracking open a cold one.
Can you taste that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
Remember, he got his taste back.
Yeah. I don't. I lost track.
Welcome to the show,
sexy though.
I did lose 8.5 pounds.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
nice.
COVID diet.
The problem is when you're sick and you lose a lot of weight.
You
eat extra, and then you actually put on
I just
weight.
crushed half a pizza with my kid just half an hour ago.
So much. I tried to stay away from dairy when I was on it, only because dairy can kind of make you kind of phlegmy and stuff like that.
You should never have any. You should never have dairy when you got
sinus
or anything like that. Yeah, because it just makes it worse.
You're basically like giving it gasoline.
Yes, so, you're just like saying fuck my nose.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
So I was eating a lot of like deli meats and like I don't know, like very.
I ate a half a pound of roast beef. Had no idea what the fuck it was.
You're like, I could be eating human flesh. I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't roast beef.
No.
I was intentionally like fucking with myself, like trying to like give me like these crazy flavors. Like so, I went and got like I Instacarted like super spicy mustard, right? To drizzle over the roast beef. My wife,
anything pickle.
So I forgot, like because of it, we had to cancel my daughter's fucking birthday, which totally blew, right?
Yeah.
Because her birthday party was supposed to be on Saturday, and I was a fucking invalid on Saturday, so like, and we didn't want to get anybody else sick. So she's since turned 11, which is crazy to me.
I saw that on Facebook.
But for her actual birthday, which was Tuesday, she wanted to get Thai food takeout. And I was like, fucking load me up with some curry. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, let's just give me the shit. Again, nothing. Not a goddamn thing. I was eating like spicy, I put in extra spicy and nothing. Which is weird because when you can't taste it, but you still get the mouth feel and like the sensations. So like,
I think my wife did the same thing. She was trying to go for spicy stuff just to kick it off or to see like how far you can take it. Yeah, I remember her.
Didn't work.
Yeah,
but like it's weird because
she'd be like biting into a jalapeno pepper.
Yeah.
And it'd be like,
but you have a sensation of something in your mouth, like it's supposed to be like breathtakingly hot. Like your breath still goes away. But you're not like you don't have any pain.
Does your mouth? It doesn't burn. So you could eat one of those North Carolina chili peppers.
Yes,
I absolutely could.
You could go into a competition. You're like, I've got COVID.
Just go like it.
But again, like you know how like when you bite into like a pepper, you have like that almost like a head feel. Like it's not even just the taste buds, but it's just like all the sensations.
Still hurts your stomach though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You'd fuck up your stomach if you eat all that stuff. But you get those feelings, but you don't get the taste. You don't like it doesn't burn.
Your eyes don't water.
No, they do. They absolutely do.
Okay.
Like they did. My eyes were watering when I was eating the Thai food. But like I was like, I'll eat it all. I don't give a shit. Like it was just food at that point. It was just feed the machine.
Is Thai food good in Boston?
Oh yeah, there's some great Thai food up here.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had Thai food.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite, like, takeout or delivery would be Thai food. I love Thai.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to
Pad Thai. Do you like Indian food?
Some of it, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, some of it.
Mm-hmm. So there's a weird crossover.
Some of it gets way too hot.
Yeah, I like the spice of Thai and Indian food, but I don't like all of it. I tend to like the drier side.
That's what you were gonna say.
I tend to like the drier side than Indian food. Like I don't like it when it's just like a whole crap ton of curry and sauce.
Sure.
And like you have like just a few lumps here and there of food. And you're like, what the hell is this? Like it's a soup basically. And
Well, it depends where you go. Like, I mean,
exactly.
you're gonna, like there's actually a really good Indian place in my town, and there's a really good Thai food restaurant in town. There's a lot of similarities in the spices that they use, but the obviously way different in as far as
I don't know if we have a Thai restaurant. I don't know if I've seen one here.
But you can get bad Thai. Like there is such thing as bad Thai food. Like in it's you have to find.
I've worn bad Thais. Sometimes they're too wide.
If I had a Thai restaurant, I'd call it Untie.
There's actually one. There's one down next time over called Thai. It's THAI''MBOMB.
I would go with bow tie.
Bow tie. What was
Time bomb?
Time bomb. Oh, I like that. I've heard of
I love
Taiwan.
She loves duck red curry. I've tried duck once and didn't like. I was in Switzerland and it was wrapped around bacon. The bacon was good, but the duck it was too.
Duck can be good. Yeah, good confit. Delicious.
I don't know. I was like, yeah, I'll try some duck. Yeah, and I went.
You mean confit?
The bacon's good.
Confit. There's a lunch spot up in Portland, Maine called Duck Fat, which everything they fry is in duck fat, like French fries fried.
Oh my gosh,
incredibly good.
Yes,
so
that must have been in
like
Switzerland.
Some next level stuff. I've had that before, and it is. And then you mix that what is that truffle oil on it with a little bit of like Parmesan. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, I think I told you before. In Switzerland, we had the French fries. They must have fried it in duck fat because they were the best French fries I've ever had. Oh, yeah, and they were like, and they were making such a big deal. Would you like to try the French fries? I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm sure I've had French fries before. What's a big fucking deal? But I was trying different foods, and he goes, "You got to try the French fries." And I went, "Oh my god, these things are great."
Randy says drunken noodle with chicken. I love drunken noodle. That's a good dish.
How can the noodle get drunk though? That's what I don't know. I mean,
do they soak it in alcohol?
Yes.
Seriously, I don't know what a drunken noodle is.
No.
I told y'all that story, didn't I? When I first moved to California, my neighbor that I went to grad school with was from India, from Calcutta.
Yes.
And did I tell you about the food though?
No, I don't know about the story, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he when the first week of school, he was a super nice guy, still friends to this day, talk to him all the time. He knocked on my door and he's like, my dream has always been to move to America. And he goes, I know you're from a different part of America. Could we arrange something where I cook for you one week and then the next week you cook for me, like a Southern dish? Because I really want to try American foods. And I was like, absolutely, that sounds great. Because I don't know a lot of Indian food. And so anyway,
you make grits?
I didn't make him grits. No, I made barbecues and cornbread and different things that
It's copping out.
I know that's like your food. Like
you got
grits
collard
is part
greens,
of your heritage.
No, I made him greens and things. It was funny. Like I like turnip greens, not collard greens. But
I tried them once. It's like, oh my god.
So anyway, I think after about 3 months of this, everything he made for me was not good. And maybe
he wasn't a good cook.
No, he actually is a very good cook. That's actually one of his dreams is he wants to be a chef and have his own restaurant.
Maybe you should be like, hey, look, this is all matchy match.
Have him watch that Seinfeld episode.
Well, he liked everything I made him, and he never had any complaints, and he actually took a lot of my recipes, and has kind of made them his own. But anyway, so finally,
fried Twinkie.
After so fried Oreos, deep fried Oreos,
fried bologna.
Actually, was he trying to bang you, dude?
No, I really think it was, yeah.
I mean, like,
hey, I'll make dinner for you. You make dinner for me.
I'm imagining like a ghost scenario
too. He left his wallet and he had to go back and get because you owed him a meal.
Like he comes up behind you and he's like, chop the onions like this, Nick.
Hey, not that there's anything wrong with it.
He's like, are you crying? I'm crying too. Sorry.
So, all right. Well, to finish this story, though. So,
he walks over, Unchained Melodies just playing on mute.
Please tell us there's a happy ending.
No. So, all right. So, but it's like if I had never met, it's like if I had never met any of you guys, and you guys were. I'm not gonna insult your cooking, but it was one of those things where finally we got comfortable enough with each other.
You fucking would. Hold on a second.
After I knew you, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not at first. I'm not gonna be like
not when we're trying to make a move on you. You're gonna
right. So after, like I said, after about 3 months, I finally just had the nerve. I go, hey man, I was like, I don't mean to insult you, but I thought Indian food was supposed to be like spicy and full of flavor. And he looks at me dead in the face. He's like, oh my God, do you want spice? I thought white people couldn't handle spice. So he'd been making all of his food bland.
Muted versions
of Indian foods.
So he was judging you.
Well, he'd never been to America.
Right.
He'd never, so he just knew from what he had heard his entire life that white people didn't like spice and flavor. So he'd been making it that way on purpose to try to make me happy.
But Jack's right. Your friend's racist.
Yeah, he's racist. I'm sorry. He's judging you for 3 months. He judged you from
pre-judging.
Meanwhile, he's like, I could have had sex if I just added this spice.
He was judging you because Bo and Luke didn't like spicy, Indian food. So when they were driving around the General Lee,
he goes to his spice rack and then he's like moving past the Spanish fly, on his some spices. Did you guys watch any movies together? This is like Netflix and chill? Is this...
No, what are you talking about? Cinemax.
He did come over one time to watch a movie with me, and I put on Tombstone, and he fucking loved it.
Oh, okay.
He was like,
because you're a Huckleberry
white guy.
Yeah, he was my white guy.
Yeah. White people watch.
Oh fuck.
I did make him a bologna sandwich one time though, which was funny. I didn't have much, and he goes, "What did he do?" He goes, "Oh," I was like, "All I have in my fridge right now is turkey and bologna." He goes, "Oh, I've never had bologna. Isn't it scraps?" I was like, "Yeah, but they're tasty scraps, And I said, "Do you want it like regular, or do you want me to fry it for you?" He said, "Let's try fried." So I fried it.
So you did do fried bologna?
I did do fried bologna, yeah. And it made my fried bologna sandwich with some other stuff on it, and that man inhaled that sandwich.
I have never had fried bologna.
You are crazy.
Oh my gosh.
No.
This was something that I had it as a kid.
I had spam. My dad used to make spam sandwich.
I mean, it's got to be the same as spam, wouldn't it?
I would take
it's kind of like a hot dog in a way.
I would take a hot dog. Are you
like
any day
frying it in oil or just like sizzling?
No, just throw it on the skillet.
Just throw it on a pan, let it sizzle.
And about three slices is enough for.
And never let him forget he's a man.
It browns up a little bit.
It's good. And then like another thing, get you like
my cousin always liked it. I was like, just give me hot dogs, Grandma.
And then another way to do it is get you a.
Did you teach him the song?
Get a shoot of whatever it's called, like a sleeve of bologna, but uncut. And then throw that in like a plastic bag and put Worcestershire sauce and garlic powder in there and let it marinate for a few days. And then cook that shit. It's so good.
Hey, you are one of the first people from below the Mason-Dixon line to actually pronounce Worcestershire sauce correctly.
Worcestershire.
I think it's because you've been training him.
Yeah.
This whole time.
This is the
years of.
My bologna has a first name.
It's OSCAR. My bologna has a second name. It's MAY.
It adds spice to the relationship.
If you had it every day, if you ask me why, I'll say Oscar Mayer has a way with BLLGNA. Let's see. Good old 12 inches. Sherry says fried bologna is good with mustard.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like mustard, so that wouldn't work for me.
You are.
Well, I got a whole jar of spicy fucking mustard. I'm gonna go buy some bologna now.
I literally have not had bologna since I was a kid.
It's so good.
You could never trade the bologna sandwiches.
Get the beef bologna, not the pork bologna. I like beef bologna better.
It was better than the stuff that was what's the stuff that had the different crap in it, like the olives,
pimentos.
Yeah.
If you came to school with that, you're stuck with it because no one's going to trade you that. Even the kid with the mustard sandwich would not trade for that.
I never traded food at lunch. But I did.
No, I was guarded that deal.
I did shake down some kids for some cookies when I was younger. So
wow.
I think I talked about this.
You're a bully.
My
No,
grandma
were they grandma's cookies?
No, I mean I've talked like.
Oh, you stole them?
No. Okay, so in grade school, like we're talking like first grade, second grade. My hand is.
I'd have to show him. Yeah, I could show him, but
my hand is born a little different.
You are all about the show and tell with cooking, my friends.
And I would use it as a puppet basically to get other people's cookies, and it worked.
So they would steal your. So you're stealing the cookies or entertaining them?
I'm entertaining to get cookies from other kids with my right hand. Yeah, who was conveniently named Cookie. So yeah,
nice. What kind of cookies?
Any cookie that was given out at lunchtime. So it was the cookie that came with your lunch tray.
Wait. Oh, the lunch tray, yes.
The lunch tray, the lunch meal. Then I would kind of eat everyone's cookies, and that's what I would live off of. So
live off cookies.
Yeah, it worked for a couple of years, and then finally I was like, "Hey, Mom."
I don't remember getting cookies. I worked in the.
There would always be like a little dessert cookie. It's like you got your meat slop, you got your vegetable slop, you got your milk, and then they would throw that on there.
I was like taco day and fish stick day.
You like fish sticks?
I ate 23 fish sticks one time in 6th grade. Everyone was giving me fish sticks.
I liked the fish sticks. Hash browns, or not hash browns, but the little, those little rolls, the tater tots. Oh man!
So Jack, I have to assume taco and fish stick day are.
Chris and I are the only one who got that joke.
I got that. Must have been quite different growing up in Southern California.
Yes, back in the 60s.
Because fish stick day in New England was fucking awful. Like they were disgusting. And taco day was your typical white person taco.
Oh yeah, it was a Taco Bell taco. Yeah, no question. It was.
That's a step above from the white person tacos that we would have up here in New England.
Because a white man's taco is the one where they put the lettuce on the meat and the cheese on top of the lettuce. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The tacos we always got the hard shell.
Yeah,
lettuce.
Well, I would assume in Southern California, you're probably getting some a little more authentic, seasonings and flavorings of.
I only remember
school,
beef and cheese or beef lettuce cheese. Like those were the only things that they put on those.
I don't remember. I just remember them being good because it was better than a bologna sandwich. So.
Yeah, back to bologna sandwiches. So like Randy mentioned, sweet pickle with the bologna sandwich. So the condiment that I have always put on my bologna sandwiches, I'm the only person I know in history who eats this. You can find it in every grocery store. It's Kraft sandwich spread. And it's mayonnaise, sweet pickles, and onions. Like it's finely chopped in the mayo, and it's fucking gold. It's awesome.
That sounds good. we could probably get a sponsorship from bologna after this episode.
Maybe
it makes a comeback. Because I don't, my grandkids won't eat
bologna has a first name. It's RCAD.
It's OSCAR. Oh, Ramblecast. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Way to go, Jack.
So, man, COVID's affected your...
The king of marketing up here. Like... Fucking hell.
Bologna with cheese. Sometimes I have American cheese on it.
We're still talking about bologna.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like even a proper Italian, depending on how you make it, it's bologna, salami, pepperoni, and then you can buy some black olives, some onions. Italian sandwich, get out of here.
I used to love olives, and now I can't eat them.
Oh,
black or green?
I used to eat them black or green. I would eat them all the time.
I love olives.
And then I don't know what happened.
I'm a Kalamata olive guy, like the purple ones.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I puked up olives one time and just said, "Fuck it, I can't eat it anymore."
I had a string a string of a year or two where I would drink dirty martinis. And I loved a dirty martini, which is pretty much just vodka and.
I love apple tea.
That's okay. Yeah,
apple tea
off with Scrubs. I hear apple tea.
That and the cinnamon apple tea, which is better than the apple tea because it just goes down like water.
Does it come in men's?
I don't know. It's cinnamon. I used to drink it.
Does it come in men's size?
Oh, men's sizes. I think you said mints. Look, dude, you have no taste. Just be quiet.
Me?
No, I'm talking.
No, he's directing at me, the originator.
I'm talking to COVID.
What? Talking to COVID.
At this time, we're going to take a commercial break. Enjoy your bologna commercial.
In the middle of sandwich talk? Okay. I know we already had
I've never had bologna on its own. I've only had bologna in another sandwich. Like it's part of
It's part of a sandwich, yeah.
That's part of a sandwich.
I think it's one of those things where I said, once I became old enough to go get my own stuff, I said, I'm never getting bologna again. There's just certain things I said, screw it. Right. I don't have to do it.
There's times where I crave bologna sometimes. Like it's just good. Like I said,
this summer, I'm going to set myself for this one. I'm waiting for Jack to just slam dunk. But my wife loves bologna. She loves a bologna sandwich, and she will during every summer.
She'll do anything for a bologna sandwich, right?
Yeah, every summer in the Cape, we get like tons of deli meat and make sandwiches. We don't leave the house, and she looks forward to the time where she can make herself a bologna sandwich because she never has it other than that 1 week that we're on the beach.
You don't buy it for her, instead of a bouquet of flowers, get her a big thing of bologna.
Well, it's one of those things where we try to eat healthy-ish, right? And bologna's not really on the menu of health, so we kind of leave it off.
It's all about the
yeah. I don't know what you guys are reading into these things. I'm just saying, when you get a slice of bologna,
slice your bologna.
I guess I just.
Do you need a meat slicer, or do you need to just do it with a knife?
What do you mean with bologna?
With anything, when you're cutting your meats.
Well, most of them they're pretty.
If you buy it a big.
If you buy the big ones, yeah. If I buy a big tube of bologna, I cut it myself.
I'm just imagining like the popularity of bologna comes back, and Arby's is just advertising their bologna sandwich.
Wait, Arby's has a bologna sandwich?
No, that's not if it did. Like because we took roast beef just got pushed aside.
No,
it's all about bologna now.
That's Chick-fil-A's new sandwich is the bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
This is like the butterfly effect for bologna. I'll start right here.
Yeah. Arby's seems like the place to go to because they already have a lot of scrap meat or just lying around.
Yeah,
right?
Our Arby's is right next to Chick-fil-A, and I feel so bad for this Arby's because half the time it's closed because nobody goes to this Arby's.
Sundays are open. They're probably banging business.
I don't know. I've been there sometimes on Sunday. I go, how does this place stay open?
Did you guys ever have a Racks? Did you guys ever have Racks back in the day?
Racks?
Racks.
Racks?
I love that. Yeah, Racks.
So I remember Racks because I remember being in Florida on vacation.
They had these amazing
in 1988.
I remember when you could say nice rack.
So you remember actually going to a Racks?
I didn't go to it. We drove by it and we made fun of it because it was Racks. Like we thought it was funny.
It is a funny name, but they had an amazing shake, and as a kid, and it was kind of like an Arby's if I remember correctly. I don't remember their sandwiches. I just remember like these amazing shake drinks that they had. I mean, like chocolate chips on top, whipped cream, the whole nine. Basically, what you get at Starbucks now, they were doing with some of their drinks back then, because they weren't like a thick milkshake. You know how you go to like some places and the shake's so thick, you're just like, okay, thanks for the ice cream. This was like more of like that smoothie style.
Chick-fil-A has a nice shake.
I could be remembering this all wrong.
So is this Racks place still around, or is it just?
I doubt
it. It is.
It is. Really?
And apparently, maybe it's not the same place I'm thinking of because it says. Well, because it says it's Oh wait, number of locations. There's only 6 left. It's Ohio, Illinois, and Kentucky. Was it ever in Florida? I could have sworn it was.
What's the closest one centrally located to us? Probably Kentucky, right?
So the closest one to me is the Racks in Circleville, Ohio. So
I'm saying we go there and do a live show from Racks.
Yeah, and it's called the other one was called Racks roast beef but I think the one that I went to was in.
Is it fast food or is it?
It's a fast food. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely some in Florida as well. Okay, so it is the same place.
Yeah,
how many were there at one point? Were there like hundreds of them?
Oh, you know,
let's see.
Burger Chef or something like that, No,
I'm just saying, were there? Because now Chris said they're down to 6.
I have no idea. I was like 10. Okay, I didn't know they're like.
You brought it up. You got to know this.
I'd definitely try it if I was in the
In
area.
its peak in the 80s, the Rax chain had grown to 504 locations in 38 states, along with an unknown number of restaurants in Guatemala.
Okay.
They like the cocaine.
So you're saying is that the owner of Rax roast beef was coked out of his fucking
Rax,
mind.
man. That just sounds cool when you say Rax.
They I'm
just imagining the coked out
bankruptcy in 1992.
Yeah, coming down off that cocaine.
Well, that's when the war on drugs was really taking effect.
And the yuppies were just on the ropes.
So in 1994, Rax Restaurants merged with North Carolina-based franchise enterprises, renaming the company Heartland Food Systems and becoming a Hardee's franchisee. Heartland had planned to convert all Rax restaurants into Hardee's by 1997. However, it was difficult to do because of blah, blah, blah. This bullshit. So they were dropped down to 150 locations.
Hardee's is supposed to be like Carl's Jr., and it's not.
No, they're not. They're owned by the same company, but they're completely different. The menu's completely different.
Because I walked in, I said, "Hey, all right, Hardee's." I go, "It's supposed to be Carl's Jr." So I walked in. Can I get a Western bacon cheeseburger? They go, "A what?"
No.
We got chicken. I go,
but Hardee's is better than Carl's Jr.
It is
in my
not.
opinion. It is.
I've tried.
Remember Roy Rogers?
I do remember.
Yes, I do remember Roy Rogers and Gail
and
Evans.
his horse Trigger.
Yeah. He had Trigger stuffed.
You mean Kenny Rogers?
No,
Roy Rogers.
Can I just point out one thing? Say what you will about Chris.
He's still around.
He is still around. And say what you will about him.
And we say a lot.
We do say a lot. I should never give you a compliment like this because it's just so backhanded. But you're seriously like when you weren't here. You're like the person that's just like, let me look this up, and you're like,
yeah, definitely, like that is me.
Homework.
I'm literally doing it right now.
Literally, that's your job. Your job's not to entertain. Your job is to give facts.
Your
job's not like a producer like Jack who puts the whole show together.
Exactly.
It's not
shit. Fucking check this out. Roy Rogers actually did successfully convert them shits to Hardee's.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They sold the chain.
Carl's
I thought
Jr.
we were still talking about the person Roy Rogers, but okay.
Never
of
was.
course, most fast food restaurants are crap today anyway, though.
Oh yeah,
because
ever since they did away with duck fat. Thanks, McDonald's.
Thanks, McDonald's.
I think theirs was beef something.
Yeah, it was. But they had animals.
Except Jack in the Box, which we only have in Charlotte out here. They won't put one in Raleigh's, even though I keep tweeting Jack in the Box.
Jack, you got babysitting money, dude. You can open up your own chain.
Yeah, babysitting money.
Anybody ever notice how Charlotte sounds like something that you would do in your pants?
Right. That's actually, I was going to say something similar along that. So, like, I like eating at local fast food chains if they're like just a small area. And so the ones that are in Colorado and kind of this weird mountain area, the worst name ever for a fast food chain, Runza.
That's awesome. I got the Runza.
The Runza.
Is that named after? Chris, look it up. Is that named after somebody's last name? Is that named after a person?
Runza.
Runza.
R-U-N.
Do you have the Runzas? Not yet.
Runza good.
But their signature sandwich is called the Runza, and it's this Eastern European chain, but they're actually very good. It's kind of like a Philly steak. It's kind of like a Philly steak, and it's got this shredded spiced beef inside with cabbage, and it's so fucking good.
Cabbage.
Based out of Nebraska originally.
Yeah. You don't see Nebraska being that. Nebraska.
I mean, if I see a fast food place I've never seen, never tried, I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. Why not? You never know.
You're a brave human being.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note,
I've tried most of them here, but it's like it's just.
What's made me mad since inflation for the last year or so is I used to
There's
always
no
go
inflation.
To Wendy's. Yeah, I used to always go to Wendy's because Wendy's was like the cheap place, and now it's like one of the most expensive. And I'm like, fuck you, Wendy's. God. Fuck you! I'm not paying $17.
Like a year ago, I stopped at Burger King, and it
Mm.
was like $16.50.
Yeah, nuts.
No, what?
It's all,
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
You,
This is
you really
like,
and you really have to like kind of like decide like just as a family it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna go out, because going out as a family of 4, it's like,
oh yeah.
okay, you're at $60 to $80, like just
It's
like
ridiculous.
you're in
Yeah.
that zone, you know. So
Cindy and I went to
um
took Ava to McDonald's today after Zach's Peter Pan show. 2 large fries, 2 hamburgers, a cheeseburger, a small fry, and 2 icy drinks, small icy drinks. How much do you think it cost?
It should be
$56.
about 16.
10,000 ruples.
Well, I mean, a hamburger is only like $1.85.
Later, Randy. Safe flight, my friend.
Fly safe, Randy.
Take care. See you in another 20 hours, man.
Should be 2 large fries, 3 burgers. It should really be about $16. $15, $16.
$22.
That's too much.
I went.
I like how you were like actually doing the prices right. Like,
Yeah.
don't go over, but how how close we can get there.
He played it
Chris
safe.
went way over, but yeah. I know we went
in
out Switzerland. Go ahead.
Oh, we went out tonight for dinner because it was like kind of my family's like they're starting their spring break, and so usually we go to a certain pizza place, and it's a pizza place that we love their pizza, and when we order enough so we have leftovers to take home, and you're gonna eat it, so you get that bonus meal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead, we were like, let's try something different, and we tried this other place. It was kind of more of like a large area where like lots of different vendors are, so you can try lots of different foods, and but it was just so mediocre, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, and so it's hard as a consumer because you take the family out, you get up to the plate, and it's not even a base hit. You're just kind of like,
yeah,
okay, we spent
and no leftovers.
And well, and the leftovers that we had were just kind of like, it's not what we would want to eat. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you're
brought
kind
it
of
home
like,
and you'll leave it in the refrigerator for a week at a guilt.
Yeah, just like at a guilt.
Oh, it's bad now. Gotta throw it out.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just kind of like, I guess, like that idea or that aspect of eating out, and when it is, it's kind of a commitment, and you want to make sure that you're getting what you like, but then stepping outside of your comfort zone to just like sample something, it's like, I don't know, it's
that's usually why I love it when I go to a restaurant, especially for the appetizers, when they have a sample platter of all the appetizers. I love that because, like, oh yeah, I can see which one. I went somewhere recently.
Applebee's.
It wasn't Applebee's. Where did I go? Oh, it was a local place here, and they had calamari on for their appetizers. And most time, the calamari is kind of really miss more than hit, but this one is one of the best fucking calamari I'd ever had in my life. I was like, holy shit! I don't know if they just got it in or what, but
sucked you back, huh?
It did. Yeah. Chris, you're muted.
You're muted. You're muted, Chris.
It's perfect. It's just like last.
All right.
week.
Well, I'm gonna say it. Was it Rhode Island style calamari?
I don't know. What's Rhode Island style?
The best type of calamari, if you ask me.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's a thing, if I made it up, so I'm checking it right now. It is a thing. Okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
So calamari.
Oh no. I mean, like octopus are really smart, like smarter than like cattle. Like I don't have problems eating meat because it's like.
Oh, is that what calamari is? Is
calamari
squid?
Squid. Oh, they're dumb as shit.
I don't think I've ever had it because just the thought of it.
Well, it's most of the time, Jack. It's kind of rubbery if it's not done right, so you don't like it. But like this was awesome.
So Rhode Island calamari is typically deep fried with tossed in butter, garlic, and hot peppers.
No, that would be interesting.
It's delicious. I absolutely love it.
It's the hot peppers is what got me. Like, ooh.
Yeah, it's like hot peppers and cherry peppers. So in college, I worked at a restaurant, and that was my first time having calamari. Was at the restaurant that I worked at in college, and it was Rhode Island style. And I've had it hundreds of times since then, and nothing is ever compared to Rhode Island style. If you have the opportunity to grab it.
To you.
Hot cherry peppers, so good.
So Nick, you have not had good calamari.
Well, I've had, in my opinion, good calamari, but I've never had.
No, not according to Chris. Calamari. Chris just said, "Fuck you."
What does Chris know? He can't even taste. He couldn't even.
What's he know?
He's trying to remember what. I don't remember.
I had the vid. I never lost my senses. That I know of. Oh, you still got the cough there.
Oh my god, that's why I've been muted this half the time because I can't stop coughing.
Well, I'm glad that you're on the men's though.
Yes.
The rest of the guys, they thought, whatever, fuck him, But I was like, dude, I would do Amazing Race with Jack in a heartbeat. I see what I did there.
Chris,
well, how's Chris gonna do the food challenges?
Well, he's got his taste back now, so to speak.
Yes.
So
does he? He said, "Hey, this is
Jack." See, Jack found a joke in the first 30 seconds of the open of the show, and he is just running it into the fucking ground.
But
like this is typical.
Like my dog with a squeaky toy.
I can see Chris on the Amazing Race. He's in
Matt,
Germany. He's in Germany. He's in Germany.
They
say,
said,
calamari. Is this Rhode Island calamari?
So
I'm not eating
Jack
it.
is kind of like. Have you seen that new travel show on Apple TV with what's his name?
You muted yourself again, Chris.
Oh,
I don't know how.
Chris, you muted yourself. How'd you do that?
Oh, it's a travel show on Apple.
How'd you do that, Chris? Chris, are you there?
3 guests.
Chris, can you hear us?
What? He muted himself again.
And your guys are.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I never watched it.
Oh, you did.
Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. Oh yeah.
So like that's like Jack on Amazing Race would be Eugene Levy on the show.
I need to watch.
For the first 20 minutes, he's very self-deprecating. And it's funny. It's Eugene Levy, but it's literally all he does for every episode for the entire series. So Jack would find that one joke, a la Taste, and he would just run with it. And people would be like,
but you know why?
He's not letting go of this joke anymore.
You know why I would do that through the whole Amazing Race? Because I'd still be in the race. You'd be gone.
Oh, yeah. On to the next challenge. That's what I would
No, you're on to the next. You're going home. Matt and I are going to win it.
We're in it to win it. We're in it to win it.
They're going to win it.
Oh, he said Nick and I. I was like, no, you're not taking my partner.
I don't want your partner.
He's gonna cook for me, damn it.
You know who would actually win the whole thing? It would be like our listeners would be like, we formed our own groups.
Yeah,
it would be like
they figured it out before we even did.
Yeah, it would be like something like
we can always apply.
Mike, Miami Mike, and add the creepy letter carrier.
That'd be fun.
So, what are we doing here, guys? What are
we're discussing life? The meaning of it all.
I had something I wanted to talk about. I don't like snakes. I don't like them at all.
Indy.
Oh, okay.
And last year I didn't see one snake, one snake skin, nothing. Saturday I'm working on this stupid switch that
I'm guessing he sees a snake skin.
Wait a minute. So I had to turn off. I told Cindy I got to turn off all the power. So I go out there. I'm standing there. I'm looking. I go. The fuck is under? What am I standing on? It's a fucking snake. I'm standing on the fucking snake. No, outside.
In your house?
No, outside.
And it was like
I'm like,
it was about ready to attack
you. Are getting that age, Jack, where stuff is kind of low hanging.
How many edibles?
It wasn't that because I could see it was too.
Stepping on his own
firm. So I jump away. So the snake is like this the whole time. I go, all right, dude. All right. I'm sorry I stepped on you. I'm sorry. It wasn't a copperhead. So I kept going back and forth. He's still staying there like this. I go, dude. Next time I come back, I'm coming back with a shovel. You better be gone. I will chop your fucking head off. And
you understood?
Well, I came back and he saw me and he kind of slithered back into his. I think he said, well, maybe it was a she. She had eggs and she's protecting the eggs. It was still cold outside. I don't know what. I think maybe I was standing on where she was, hibernating, whatever it was. And she came. I go, fuck, a snake already? And it was cold outside. I said, fucking snakes. I hate them. I was hoping since all the construction we have here that maybe the snakes moved on. But no. Oh, God, it was gross.
I like to imagine that the snake came back with a gun, and
it might have. I don't mind getting shot by a gun. I just don't want the snake crawling on me.
Snake's out there planting trees. The things that you hate about nature. You're like, oh, fuck these trees. Fuck these snakes.
Why do I hate trees? It depends on the tree. I don't like pine
You
trees.
have this thing about trees. You're like, these trees are getting too high. We need to rake it.
I got it. No, trees get too high. They fall down, they get strong winds and they fall down on your house.
You've complained about trees quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't like trees. I don't like pine trees.
Yeah.
I hate pine trees.
They're useless. They don't.
I have about 20 of them that I want to remove right now.
Yeah, I have about 15 of them. All they do is clog the gutters. They don't give you any shade because they grow past the sun. So they got the top has some pines on it, and all you get is the squirrels go up there and eat the fucking pine cones, and they're dropping them on your head. Yeah, fuck pine trees.
Oh, so it's specifically just pine trees. Gotcha.
Yeah, I hate fucking pine trees.
Okay, all right.
Same.
He hates evergreens.
I don't like. I don't like. I like.
No,
trees
I don't mind a good birch. I'm a fan of the old birch trees.
Birch trees.
That's an evergreen.
Birch is an evergreen. It's a deciduous.
Or fir trees, not balsam fir. Those are nice.
I like trees that grow about 20 feet, and that's about 25 feet.
I like a good cypress.
I like to crush your house.
What did you say?
I like happy trees.
Happy trees.
So at 51:21, if you hear me cough, I probably also ripped ass. But if you want to go ahead and listen to that,
The Zapruder film.
Back into
I'm like, what the hell is 51:21?
I saw the cheek lift.
That's not the
double check there. Make sure
I was like, that is not the Van Halen album. I remember.
5150.
Yeah.
5150. Whatever.
Matt K says maybe Escape from New York with Snake Plipkin. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
So
Donald Pleasant was the president, right? Am I right? Donald Pleasant. Adrienne Barbeau was the girl with the restaurant. So,
quick little interjection story about terrible movies.
Hopefully someone got that.
So I was playing some video games this week because I had a lot of time in my hands, and I was playing this game called High on Life, which is a game created by what's his name, Roiland, the guy who does Rick and Morty. The game's really funny, twisted, fucking dark humor with really weird shit. But what they did was they bought the rights to 4 independently made horror movies from the 80s, and throughout the game they placed them in and you can. I actually sat down on the couch in the game and watched on the television in the game horror movie.
Wait,
it's awful.
Do you have the virtual reality?
No. Just watch it on my screen.
You're as high as a kite.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
So the full movie is in the game.
There's 4 movies in the game. They play throughout different parts, and you can literally sit down and watch the entire movie.
So it's a game, but it's a movie.
So yes, it's a game, and I'm in the living room of my house in the game, and there's an alien on my couch watching human TV. All right. Okay. This is just go with it. Right.
But you're not.
Listen, Jack. Just stop talking and listen. Just stop talking and listen,
man.
So I'm sitting on the couch.
I liked you better when you had no taste.
In the living room of the game that I'm playing, and there's a TV in the living room. My character in the game is watching the TV, and there was
where are you?
I'm playing the character.
Okay.
So the first movie was Tammy and the T-Rex.
Dream within a dream.
You ever heard of this movie, Tammy and the T-Rex?
No.
Yeah, me neither. But it stars Paul Walker and what's her
Tammy
name?
Faye
The girl from Wild Things. What's her name?
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell.
Nope, the other one.
The other one.
Denise Richards. So the plot of this movie is
sorry, your hands are too short. I can't give you a
they're in high school, and there's this mad scientist who reanimated a fucking T-Rex, and they needed the brain to power it. So this kid gets mauled by a fucking mountain lion or whatever, and they take his brain and they implant it into a fucking T-Rex. You can see why they're easily able to get to the rights to this movie.
I don't think this exists. I think you're just high.
100% real. It's 100% real. Somebody else be a me right now and look it up.
Did they get the T-Rex longer arms?
No, super short. So the other one, there's three other movies. One was called Demon Wind, and it was fucking terrible. It was filmed on location in Thousand Oaks, California.
That movie came out in 1994. Tammy and the T-Rex.
Huh. Yes, it did. I figured. And then there was Vampire Hookers.
I bet you that movie sucked.
You're gonna stab that steak in me.
What was the other one?
It's got a 5.3 on IMDb.
5.3. That's nice.
There's another movie called starred Tiny Tim.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Yes, him. It was shit.
He got married on Johnny
Blood
Carson.
Harvest. Blood Harvest was the name of the movie. It was fucking.
Did you know who Tiny Tim was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I remember.
Yeah, we've all seen
Have
the
you?
Scrooge story.
But anyways, it was just wild.
He played the ukulele. Good.
Going back and to the whole idea of when you have a fever and you're watching movies or TV, things that all get real fucked up and your brain gets all weird. That's what happened to me when I was watching these fucking movies within a game on Xbox. These terrible, terrible movies. But one of them they actually did like a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, nice
accompaniment to, and it was fucking hilarious.
Oh,
I remember being sick years ago and watching HBO and Lori who's the Lori Loughlin? Is that who's Becky?
No one cares.
Becky.
Lori Loughlin.
Anyway,
she was in some horror movie, and that movie was just when you're sick, it just freaks you out.
As a kid, I had a fever, and I remember watching the Halloween special for fucking Punky Brewster, and it fucked me up.
I know I watched Dumbo because Jay's favorite show growing up was Dumbo with a hangover. Yeah. When they came to Pink Elephants, I almost had to throw up.
Gotta love Salvador Dali, man. It's awesome.
Pink Elephants.
Oh yeah.
When I just wanted to point out, Chris, when I was also had COVID, I got sucked into a 90s show called Star Trek: The Next Generation, and started doing this deep rewatch because I don't know, there was something about like the
Deep Space Nine.
I'm on to Deep Space Nine now. Actually,
okay, good.
I'm going through the entire lexicon. I take breaks in between, but one time when I was younger or what have you, I had a fever for more cowbell, and it just came over me. Nice. I started just hitting that cowbell.
Chris Doran says, speaking of great movies, happy 58th birthday to the great Richard Grieco.
Heyo.
To look at him, you'd never think he was 58.
No. I like people of age worse than me.
Oh, Jack, you mentioned this before.
That's why you hang out with
Hoff.
us.
Is it Susanna Hoff?
Yes. Walk like an Egyptian?
Yes. You've said this before on the show. I'm giving you credit where it's due. But she popped up on my TikTok feed, and holy fuck. Like, she's 65.
Yeah.
And she looks incredible. Like,
she's a little wacky. She's a little wacky.
Well, yeah.
But she's she's aged great.
Yeah. Sorry, just want to keep the credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madonna's whacked and looks fucking terrible.
She looks crazy now. I mean, she's not that she was ever sane, but like
I saw a meme today. Who would have thought back in 1990 that Roseanne would look better than Madonna?
Right? Right?
I saw that. I go, you know what? They're right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Not that I'm here judging. I'm not judging people by their looks.
No,
sometimes you just go too far with the plastic surgery.
I think there's a tipping point.
What happened? Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Roseanne just stayed Roseanne for 30 years. But
because I think she didn't. But also too, like, she's not. There's a tipping point where it goes from like smoothing out a wrinkle to like making a plastic face, and we saw it with Michael Jackson. We've seen it with like lots of different celebrities. Crazy that it hit both Michael Jackson and Madonna, right? You know, like by the time you look at Madonna now, you're just like,
she doesn't
what
she
the
doesn't
fuck?
she doesn't look like Madonna.
She doesn't look like anything like Madonna. Nothing.
No.
Absolutely. She should go in and just be like, make me look like somebody else now, because this isn't working for me.
Yeah, I was reading a
I mean, to each their. I mean, whatever they want to do to make them happy. I don't.
Yeah.
Care, but sometimes you gotta go. But if I can make fun of you, I'm sorry.
Now, I was reading a short article with Courtney Cox not too long ago about that.
I just read the private chat.
How Courtney Cox was actually owning up to it is that, you know, when you're in your 30s and you're so paranoid as an actor or an actress getting old that you'll keep what you can. And so, like, you know, they started putting fillers in her face. That's why she looks so weird in the later seasons of Friends.
Yeah.
And it's like you get to a point where you don't realize that you are, you know, that you look odd. You know, you just think, oh yeah, I look younger now, and then, you know, it's not till later where you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. And so they removed a lot of the fillers from her face.
Yeah.
Well,
she did admit it.
I think it was Haley on Modern Family. Like she had kidney troubles, and she had an
autoimmune disease.
Yeah, and so, but there's periods of time where like she would look more round in her face because of some of the treatments. But I thought her father gave her a kidney or something like that. Like at some
I think
point,
she has lupus.
It wasn't George Lopez.
Yeah. But you know that, I mean, we've recently been watching that just kind of as a family, and for some of those actresses to. I mean, men, they can just do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, you know, you're just like, okay, well, this is how I look. But for the women, you know, they're even Claire, you know, like, you know, having certain.
She's actually a big advocate of plastic surgery.
She's been open about it. Yeah. So
again, if that, I don't.
The actress that plays. And yeah, I mean, it is a tipping point though. Like, and then you get to the Meg Ryan effect.
But it's your choice.
Sure.
Yeah. If people want to do it, they want to do it.
Right.
I mean, there's men that do.
But most people who do it end up regretting it.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
like the track record of regret is crazy.
Yeah, because they like Matt's saying, they go too far with it, and you go, just nip and tuck a little bit, but don't go hog wild, because it doesn't look good.
Well, you wonder how, like, some people, like we're talking, like Meg Ryan looked horrible. Same as like Nicole Kidman. Like, there's definitely a few years there, you're like, whoa, like what happened to Nicole Kidman? But then someone like Cher, who still, you know, like, who's had flirts her entire life, she still looks normal, and you're like, how does that work? Where,
I think she's got good skin. I think she's got good skin anyway, and she doesn't have to over. It's when the people want to take all the wrinkles out,
right?
And and it's just hard to do without.
Right. Then you take somebody like Harrison Ford, who's like, I don't fucking care how I goddamn.
Because he's Harrison Ford. Nobody.
I know, right?
Harrison Ford.
Right. But I mean, that's also.
Have you ever heard of a man who just gives less of a fuck about anything? Like, he just doesn't care.
Right.
No, I love him.
He's rich.
I love him.
Right. He's had a great career.
Sure.
So what does he have to bitch about?
I hope the next Indiana Jones at least delivers.
I really want.
That would be nice to at least just kind of like, like I just want
to. I'm setting my bar extremely low, hoping that I come out going, hey, it's better than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, it's got to be better than the last one, right?
Yeah, that's really the bar. It's like, please just be better than the last one.
Yeah,
you know?
and I will say this: half of the last one is decent.
Yeah.
But the second half, though, it loses me. There is a moment that I think we even maybe talked about it, Nick. There's a moment halfway through where all of a sudden you're just kind of like, what the like, I almost fall asleep.
That's a Wizard of Oz.
The Monkeys is one of them. The 3-tier waterfall where everyone's still in the boat. The 50s diner scene really kind of got me.
I was bored. I was bored the whole movie.
The 50s diner scene?
That part
it just took me out a little bit. Like, it's the first moment where I was kind of like, oh,
that's
okay, I see what they're trying to do here. But that's right.
That's what makes it bad, I think. Yeah. He's not a good actor.
He ruined it.
Actually, today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Dave.
Oh, same with Richard Grieco.
I thought you were going to have Dave on the podcast one time.
That's right.
I think it should be our goal.
Yeah.
I think it should be our goal as the current people that are on this show to replace every single one of us with somebody that has an initial for RCAD, and then they can take over the show. So,
well, who's going to be
Richard, Charlie, Alan, David,
Charlie Sheen, Andy Dick. Because A, and then D would be
that's what we do. We sell it to Richard. No, never mind. Fuck this idea.
Richard Grieco, Charlie Sheen.
We were talking about Indiana Jones.
Charlie Sheen.
Not my drunk ass.
Andy Dick, and who would the D be?
I don't know. Just like, I'm not talking about famous
David
people. Just anybody that we can.
Well, now you've ruined the whole bit. I don't care.
Yes, and I'd like another commercial break.
No, it's not time yet.
No, it's not time yet.
Fine.
Anyway,
what else have you guys been watching over this?
So
last
Chris,
week?
Since you were gone last week, we talked about
have you guys watched Ted Lasso?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Okay,
let the man finish.
We were talking last week, Chris, and you were gone. We talked about Matt and I were happy that Everything Everywhere All at Once won Best Picture. We didn't expect it to win, but it won. We were happy. And then I dropped a bomb on them, and I said, I've been watching
and it smelled bad.
You what?
What?
Yeah. What?
I may have read the show notes, but what do you think?
I may have read the show.
I wasn't going to listen.
Yeah, I'm on.
I was too busy.
It fucking pops up as a notification on my fucking phone, Jack.
I was way too busy laying in bed to listen to the podcast.
Well, if you got past the first 5 minutes of us shitting,
I didn't listen to you. Not even for 1 second. It was literally in the show notes. It popped up as a fucking notification.
So basically saying, fuck, nobody should listen to us.
No, I don't
oh, there you go. Confirmation, Randy. Whenever you do listen to this, Chris, you're right. Does not listen to the show.
No, not. That's why we were comfortable shitting on Chris, because we knew he would never listen.
Wait, show of hands. Who here listens to the show?
I do if I miss one.
I sometimes listen.
Who's the one that said, "Hey, gents"?
I'll listen. I mean, if I haven't heard, if I haven't been on the show, sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, what did you guys talk about?" Not this year. This year I was in a bit of a, I was kind of in another head zone. So I didn't listen to the episodes I missed. Sorry. Maybe I'll go back and listen to them one day. Maybe not that I didn't care about it. But Chris doesn't care, about what he misses.
I don't.
At least Chris is honest.
Yeah.
And Nick, you had a story.
I come here to talk to you, Jen.
No, I've been interrupted like probably 50 times this episode.
Yeah, you have.
50 times. 50 times.
Okay.
Mostly by Jack.
Jack, what
by Jack?
TV shows?
I wasn't the one talking.
Jack, what TV shows did you want to talk about?
You want to talk about Breaking Bad? I want to talk about Breaking Bad. Nick, tell me what you feel about the show. Give me your review in a few sentences, as less before Jack interrupts you.
Pretend like you didn't tell us last.
So at the end, as of last week's episode, I was almost done with season 2, and now I'm on episode 10 of season 4.
Wow, you're rolling.
You're on episode 4? What
now? I'm on season 4. I'm on episode 10 of season 4 now.
Jesus.
Yeah. So you're enjoying it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just
you like the juice.
I've been busy. So like, I
do you like the chicken?
I always like the first act of any play most. I don't know why. It's just been my thing. Season 1 and season 2 are damn near perfect. I mean, they're really good.
The only thing
season 1 and 2
and 3, 1 and 2.
No, season 1 and 2.
One's okay.
But like I said last week, though, I hate his fucking family. I want to stab everyone. Except for fuck, why am I forgetting his name now? His brother-in-law. Yeah, his brother-in-law. Hank is fucking awesome. I love Hank.
No, Hank's a dick though, too.
He's a dick, but I like Hank because I know guys like
Hank.
He's a dick. He's a dick, but he's got a heart of gold.
It speaks to your Tennessee roots.
He's a good person, but he doesn't realize he's shitting all over Walter.
Right. Yeah, because he thinks he's better than Walter. But like,
and he likes rocks.
That's what's brilliant. That's what's brilliant though, especially about somewhere in season 2, is that you see that crossover to where Hank becomes less of a macho guy because he's full of shit, and then Hank, who's always been like a beta male, they kind of switch roles to where Hank's becoming lesser, and
goddamn
Walt,
right,
and Walt is becoming like a fucking badass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up, and I love the show up until it peaked. To me, it peaked when Hank gets shot by the two brothers. and then there's a little bit of a lull after that of like they didn't know what to do with some of the storylines, because for a while there, all it is fucking Walt and Jesse in the lab, and you're just like, what is going on? You know, and it's a lot of, and like, you know, and then I see where like Matt was saying, like, I can't believe they were going to kill Jesse off in season 1. Like sometimes I'm like, why didn't they fucking kill Jesse off? He's the dumbest fucking character in the world. But I still like Jesse. I still like him.
You bitch.
I love Jesse. I heard him.
And I think some listeners last week wanted you to make sure that you watched El Camino once you're done too.
I will watch El Camino.
Okay,
yeah, I will.
But the Hank episode is my favorite episode of the series because it's so intense.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Where he gets shot. Yeah. I mean, because it's
so good.
It's so realistic. The acting is so fantastic.
It also comes in the middle of the season too, where you're not expecting it. You know, and that's the best. That's the best. Where it's just like,
and you're like going, oh my fucking. It was like I said, because you don't want Hank to die.
No, you don't.
And what's Hank's name and what's his name? What's the actor's name? He's a great actor.
But he's
fantastic
moment, though,
in this episode.
It kind of comes out of nowhere. It comes out right in the middle of the season in a way that,
and it's Walter's fault.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It was really good. I do like. Now, what did you think of the Fly episode? Because I
fucking hated it.
Okay,
I hated it. And that's the thing. And that's the thing is it's so funny is that, like I said, like I was already as soon as Hank gets shot, you know, the next few episodes there, it's a kind of a lull area of like, okay, what do we now need to build up to? And then you get to the fucking Fly episode, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? And I just
Dean Norris. Thank you, Chris.
You keep watching it, and then I go, who directed this? And then it's fucking Ryan Johnson. And I'm like, that makes sense why I hate it.
I didn't hate the Fly episode.
It's not bad, but it was just one of those. Okay.
I like it when things push things creatively. You know, like, you know, if it challenges you in a way where you're like, oh, this is a little bit different, and
it was different.
And what do you do with that little bit of insanity, you know, and going stir crazy and the monotony of it?
But it gets darker as this show goes along because I don't want to spoil you, but there's some things that happen. You gotta go, man.
He's pretty far along.
Yeah. But I don't think he's at the part where I'm talking about.
Well, how many episodes are left in season 4?
I don't know. It's usually like around 13 to 14 per season.
You're almost done, I would think.
Where I ended.
Well, how many seasons are there?
5.
I'm looking it up. There's 4 seasons. Oh, there's 5?
There's 5. There's 5 seasons.
Well, I'm trying to think what happened. Well, I don't want to spoil them, so I'll be quiet.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought there was.
Yeah. Basically, and it's things like things I don't understand. It's like, why did Gus and Mike, you know, because like obviously that's where to me it seemed a little bit weird in that like the whole time you've had Jesse and Walt be partners, and when they're in the lab they're partners working together. All of a sudden they take Jesse out in the field to like do money bags and collections and all these things. That's like, well, how the fuck is Walt doing his job without?
Well, they want to get rid of, but they want to eliminate.
I know they do, but it makes no sense in a way of like, how do they have the power to say like, oh, we're taking Jesse away from you from now on, and it doesn't make sense in a way of like logic of like he still needs a fucking partner, you know, to do the job. But anyway,
you watching it makes us all want to rewatch it. I think.
Yeah. Right. The only person I have really any beef with is Skylar, his wife. It's not because of necessarily the character. It's just because at no point in the show yet have I ever felt they were a married couple. There's no writing in it or any kind of acting. There's no love. Yeah, there's no love. She's
pretty good. She's pretty good with the bacon, with the birthday. Come on.
But I mean, it just didn't seem. It doesn't seem like a real relationship to me at all. You know, and she's
their relationship,
and then when she finally finds out
their relationship on the outs.
It is on the outs, but like it just I don't understand the character at all, and I don't even think she did as an actress. It was just to me, some of it feels forced.
Well, I think that Walt had become humdrum. Humdrum was the word because he was working at the car wash.
Teacher.
He's boring teacher. His brother-in-law keeps putting him down. You know, your job. You're just a piece of crap. Basically, you're just boring. And I think Skylar felt that he was just boring. Then he slowly becomes Heisenberg, And she's he's a different person. He's living his dream. Getting cancer was the best thing ever happened to him as far as his
sidebar of another character, Skylar's sister, which I never remember her name. It showed early on in season 1 that she's a thief, because she does it because it's probably just it's something
she's kind of a klepto, right?
Yeah, she's a weird character. And in season 3, maybe early 4, when we decide we're going to pay for his physical therapy bills, I totally thought they were going to run with actually no insurance is covering it, and I'm just taking the money for myself. And when she's doing all the house hunting and even stealing people's houses, that she was actually going to buy a separate home for herself and just live this separate life, because it made sense of just the weird character that she is, just to be like, you know what, I don't care. Like, I'm stealing from my sister now because she needs that.
Marie.
Yeah, she needs that adrenaline rush of feeling alive to steal shit.
But she doesn't have any. She lives with Hank, who's
with Hank. Yeah, Hank gets no attention. Yeah,
Hank's all about himself.
Right.
And
I like that actress. She's really good.
Very good actress.
I'm not knocking the actress. I'm just saying,
no, I know you're not. Yeah. And her name.
I was going to say the other thing.
By the way,
another thing with Walt was the fact that he was part of that company that could have made billions, and he didn't get any of it. He ended up as nothing wrong with it. My daughter's a teacher, but all he was a science teacher and working part-time at the car wash.
You wonder kind of what happened, why did they really cut him out, or is it something he did?
I think it's something he did. I think he was marrying Skylar, and didn't they have a baby on the way?
Oh, maybe, yeah. He's just
and he couldn't wait for the.
It's a great show. I need to go back and watch it again.
Right? Watch it.
That's what I said. Nick watched it.
I actually don't remember half the shit you guys are talking about. It's been so long.
I've watched it like 3 times all the way through.
I was actually on a phone call with Cliff maybe 4 days ago.
Did he call you Collect?
This is a favorite hockey he actually thought it was interesting. I was telling him about how I watched Better Call Saul, and then it was better because the last season of Better Call Saul was not on Netflix yet. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to watch Breaking Bad now. And he actually said, I actually think that's actually a brilliant idea, because you can watch Better Call Saul all the way through season 5. He goes, then watch Breaking Bad, watch El Camino, then go back and watch the last season of Better Call Saul. He goes, I think that could probably be the best viewing order. And I was like, oh, okay.
So that's your own.
My Star Wars cut, yeah. Whatever.
Your machete cut.
Machete cut.
Yep. But to be fair, looking back, there are certain characters and actors that we like from episode 1 that recently appeared. Not to go into that. We'll stay on Breaking Bad.
Well, some people, I know some
I'm just
people.
Thinking Star Wars.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Star Wars.
Some people on our Facebook page will get upset if you bash Skylar.
Really?
Who? Mm-hmm. Really? Well, be upset with me. Skylar sucks.
Skylar sucks, and she does.
They get upset if you bash Skylar.
I like all. I honestly like all the characters because they have these flaws. They have these.
They're all assholes.
They have these other aspects that are driving
everyday life.
The only one who's not an asshole in that show is his son.
Yeah.
No, he can be a dick too.
Nick doesn't like his son.
He has his moments. But
he's like a teenage dickhead. It's different.
A teenage dick.
But look whose mom and dad are.
Right.
It's fair.
I just finished that episode where a few episodes prior, Walt gets him the Challenger, and then of course Skylar makes him get rid of it, and so she buys him that fucking PT Cruiser. And as soon as I was like, no, like, you got him, Mom.
Loser.
Yeah, like, oh, and you see in his face too, like, oh my God, you got me this. And she's like, do you want to test drive me? He's like, no, I'm really hungry. Let's go eat some pancakes. I was like, yes. I was like, every kid in the world would have been the exact same way.
From a Dodge Charger to a PT Cruiser.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
I
mean, they had that big box. They had that big thing of money in the storage unit. I take just a piece of it. Just give me just a chunk.
So like I'll probably finish, sometime next week, maybe the rest of the show. So
you voted.
This is your Das Boot, dude. Congrats.
In a way, yeah. Yeah, and then we've got other stuff out now, like Matt said, or like Jack said, we got
Ted Lasso.
Now Ted Lasso's out.
Ted Lasso, yeah.
Mandalorian's back.
Wednesday's the big release day because
really
at least for my family, because Ted Lasso comes out, Mandalorian, Bad Batch.
There's so much Mandalorian season. I'm behind on season 3 of Mandalorian. I haven't started it yet.
Oh, you haven't started. It would be interesting for you to watch it, and then we could all just record an Owen and Bruce together here.
Oh, we still have that podcast? Oh.
Yeah, probably won't do it.
This week's episode was pretty great. It was directed by Carl Weathers.
Yes.
Carl Weathers, yeah. I liked all the action. It was good.
Are you sure it's Carl Weathers?
Are we going to do just slight spoilers here? Or are we going to just kind of keep it vague? Because I don't want to spoil anybody.
I thought it was Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. Yeah.
That's not spoiler to know that Carl Weathers directed it. But,
no.
But it was...
I think he has directed one episode each season.
I will say this: this episode is almost kind of an inverse of the last episode, where the last episode had this really long inner part, which a lot of people didn't like, right? And whereas this episode, the middle part is what everybody really liked, whereas the outer part is like plot wise, is just kind of like, okay, all right.
I thought it was good, top to bottom. I liked it.
There were elements.
Last two episodes have been good. Yeah,
there are elements that I liked about it, but it's funny talking to my brother, who's a huge Boba Fett fan, huge fan of just Mandalore, all things Mandalore, and there's been some moments where he's just like, I just gotta complain about the level of craftsmanship on this. I mean, what are we dealing with? And how are they this dumb that they couldn't figure this out? And where are they getting all of these supplies?
You're talking about me, yeah.
No, it's my brother, who's every time I talk to him the next day, he's just kicking it hard, just and where the fuck is Boba Fett?
How far are you on Poker Face?
I'm only at episode 5. I was trying to finish it. That was kind of on my list of things to do as I've been watching Deep Space Nine and X-Men 1992.
Oh, right. I need to watch that too.
Yeah, I'm on season 4 of X-Men.
Oh, nice.
It's
pretty tomorrow, Matt.
It's pretty amazing how I mean, some of the stuff is just kind of okay. But some of the different storylines that they do on that cartoon are just ripped from the comic book, and they're doing their best to adapt it, on that level. So
yeah.
Anyway, I won't bore you with that.
One thing I wanted to go back to the Mandalorian about was
in
this current episode. I found the conversation between Bo-Katan and the Armorer really odd
towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah. When she admits that she saw the mythosaur, because in the book of Boba Fett.
By the way, slight spoilers ahead for this.
Slight.
I'm old. I won't remember.
Okay. But in the book of Boba Fett, she actually talks about how it prophesized how the mythosaurs will come back, and this will lead into the new rise of the Mandalore. And so when Bo-Katan admits this, she almost has a pity conversation with her. Oh, it's nice to dream that. Oh, well, this is the way. And it's and you kind of go, what the I didn't understand that reaction.
Okay, so here's my thought on this, and there's been definitely almost in every single episode we've had little cracks in the armorer, right? Where we're seeing the Mandalorian comes back from visiting, Mandalore, and he's just hey, it's not cursed, it's a lie, and it's whoa. And then we have this moment here where she's kind of saying, hey, this is real. And it's sure it is, sweetie. And I don't know. I don't know the motives, because it's hard to see through the masks and what they might be emoting or their intentions, which kind of adds to the myth of the show, is that we really don't know their intentions. except for when we have these subtle conversations. But I feel like they're setting up Bo-Katan for something more.
Oh, absolutely.
And Pedro Pascal, the actor, had said that her character is the most. He said that her character was the most interesting this season, or said something of the effect where her character. So it really does have me curious about like what is going to happen with her and the dynamics with her and what she is now. It's weird because she's walking this line of being a believer, but also being kind of like awoken, like separate from the group, which I love. And yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting choice for her. She still hasn't removed her helmet yet, but you see her, when they first introduced her this season, that she's just kind of alone. She has nobody, and then now she's part of a clan again. And so it's like, what's gonna be her path?
Oh, hello! I didn't see you there. I was just sitting here chilling in my.
Okay. Didn't even have a TV or anything on. Damn, that must be. Good.
I know. I just figured she was playing on her cell phone or something like that. Yeah. Chris, your thoughts on anything, since we're giving the listeners?
Yeah, I'll just go to the last two episodes. I thought the last two episodes were really great, and I don't align with any of the criticism that you mentioned earlier, but I thought it was really interesting to see. No, not your criticism, but no, you're talking about the public's criticism,
right?
At the beginning, whatever. I don't align with that really. I mean, I thought they did a really nice job with telling the story of what's his name, the scientist guy, kind of bringing it back to him for a bit.
I like
the girl from
I like the little bit of Andor within the Mandalore. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And I agreed.
And it did connect to this episode as like there was an action sequence where you're like you're doing the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where you're like pointing at the screen, you're like, hey, that's that play, and it's like boom.
Right.
This thing that you thought wasn't like a meaningless thing is all of a sudden connecting to this other time and place. So
and like even the flashback from this most recent episode was the present of the last episode.
What I liked about the flashback really cool. This episode is that it connects all the way back to the first season.
Sure,
and
so
the fact that some of those things that we may have thought were throwaway flashbacks from season one, all of a sudden kind of now relate, in a new way.
Sorry. So going back to 2 weeks ago or last week rather, the amount of Easter eggs that were in that episode. I meant to send you guys a video. I forgot to send it on, but if you look on YouTube and kind of look at all the Easter eggs from like the Mandalore episodes, there was so much intentionally packed into that episode. It was ridiculous. Like so much stuff. Like there's just throwbacks to the movies, throwbacks to Clone Wars, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought they did a really nice job, and you definitely had like a weird tension in that movie. It did feel like Andor. It felt like Andor, like that. Mm-hmm. That's probably the best way of describing it.
It had a little bit of that psychological tension, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at. Yeah, so like almost like the Squid Game-ish, like mentality of like the rehabilitation of the First Order, not First Order Empire.
I mean, did you guys? I called it from pretty early on what was going to happen because it just seemed too eager. If you're really in rehabilitation, and then she doesn't know this guy, she doesn't know if she could trust him. Like, why would you put your neck out there on the line like that for this guy? It just seemed too forced. I was like, well, obviously she's a plant. And what is like, are you really that dumb? Yeah, like, are
you could tell from the second, like the opening scene was her like straightening, like that was kind of like her tell, right? It was like straightening up the suit and walking into late to his presentation.
Correct.
Like the whole line.
It was focused on her.
Yeah, it was, right. So and the whole thing was like there's another scene that, like later on in the episode where she kind of like does that whole thing again where she's putting her act on for whatever. My only beef with the episode is the really oddly phallic fucking neon nuclear popsicles they were eating, which I thought was so fucking weird.
Yeah, I never got the phallic thing, but okay.
Well, I'm sure, I guarantee you some alien dick looks like what the thing that they were eating on their little lovely walk.
Well, I mean, there's so many alien dicks out there. Have we not all eaten something? I mean, what is a hot dog?
No, I've not eaten an alien dick once in a
while. I would like it if someone actually would show us what death sticks.
Maybe it's bologna.
It has a first name.
But to fast forward to this past episode, was awesome. Like, I mean, it was just a full on action. Like the dog fighting as an example. Was that last week? I can't remember.
Yeah,
They're all
it was last week. Yeah, the dog
This was
fighting.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which by the way, so like when she was like, I fought off groups like these, blah blah blah. But she's like, well, that seems like an awful lot of ships for a whatever. And I was like, fucking Thrawn sent those motherfuckers out there. So I just know a lot of people are thinking. He's just getting closer and closer. But and then this week's I thought was really a really fun episode. A lot of action, from the opening scenes throughout the entirety of it. Really. Would you be disappointed? My one beef though, complaint, but one beef. Like, was it Paz Vizsla? Is he the big guy?
Sure. Yeah.
That was John Favreau was the original voice of that. He's not the voice of him anymore. They changed the voice actor.
Oh, yeah. Really?
And I noticed that. Well, when he said that's my son. Oh, spoiler. Fuck. Whatever. But
you just wrote it for me.
It's
Michael, right? It's my son.
Right.
From Lost.
It wasn't Favreau.
You can kind of guess
Favreau
it.
in the card.
From
was it
before.
Favreau?
Yeah, Favreau was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he was like the last season, but he's not anymore.
Now,
I really enjoyed it, man. That was great.
One thing I did want to bring up, and then we can move on from.
Okay, sure.
So we can keep.
Yeah, I need to go to bed
soon. I love this.
Is that
I haven't interrupted you once, except this time.
No, not once. Good job, Jack. Well done. Well done.
Are we getting a confirmation now that Darth Jar Jar exists, and the fact that he gave the Emperor Imperial emergency powers? Now he rescued, like Chris said earlier, he rescued Grogu. So
is he in there though?
Yeah.
We don't know that.
He's responsible. You don't know. Like, I mean,
we don't know. Why was he keeping the ship there? I mean, maybe the ship was just.
I will say though. I will say that I did see a great post about this today, and to be serious for a hot second. I mean, I think it kind of ties into the Ted Lasso talk too about mental health. Is that the actor who was the motion capture guy for Jar Jar was So someone posted something today. He goes, when this movie came out, he was on the verge of committing suicide. To today being like a Jedi badass for like 5 minutes on screen, which is kind of like a then versus now type of thing. And I thought that was really nice. So
and that Jedi, he's also on the Jedi Temple Challenge, which was like a kid show that they did. My kids and I watched it when it came out. It was really kind of a fun weekly show. I think there's 10 episodes. They're fun to watch with your kids. Like, I mean, I think even if you have 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds, because basically it's kids running through an obstacle course, like what you'd see back on Nickelodeon back in the day, just to become like a Jedi or something like that if they complete the challenge. So, but he was the host.
They shamed.
He was the host as that Jedi, and that's the same name as what they're crediting him as being. So they're connecting that. And that's just kind of a cool nod and a cool way of kind of, and hopefully we get maybe more of this, because clearly it left us with more questions, which, hey, as fans of Lost or anything with mythos, it's like, give us more of that shit.
I don't have more questions anymore.
I just hope that at some point we get off of this Florida planet with all of these gators and alligators and, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
So that's
that was a bit odd for me when it was like, oh, now you have 3 more foundlings. Like, are they going to ride dragons now? Like, are we doing a Game of Thrones parallel? Like, what's going on here?
Dude, Grogu is going to ride that motherfucker off into the sunset. You know what's going to happen.
Grogu
he's going to tame those dragons. I'm predicting it right now.
He's the father of dragons.
He's riding. No. Not just those dragons.
Is he naked?
No.
Or he's going to take the mythosaur.
Exactly. That is exactly what we're going to get.
Yeah.
He's on the mythosaur with the Darksaber in his hand, leading the troops.
That's an Darksaber.
With the Force whales.
Yes.
Right. And then,
against an army.
Against Thrawn.
Against motherfucking Thrawn. Dude, let's go.
And an army of dark troopers led by a mind fucked Ezra Bridger. Ezra's doing something. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
But yeah. What if Ezra? Being
what if Ezra is being corrupted or connect? Yeah. Anyway, a lot of fun stuff there.
Yeah.
So Thanks.
Tennessee's only up by 1 over the Florida Atlantic Owls with 10 minutes left in the second half.
Don't worry, we'll win.
Okay, Ted Lasso for those we've all watched
I just saw the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Okay.
I saw the first and a half.
10 and a half episodes?
Is this the final season?
It is.
They said they were only going to do 3. Yeah.
They confirmed
this is officially the last. Okay, I can't believe it. I can't believe that Apple has not thrown like Jason Sudeikis money and options.
They're doing it right.
No, they are. They are for sure. I mean,
do you want to make it last 4 or 5 seasons where they just run out of?
I don't. I would rather see. It's funny because it's almost like a sports analogy, to use that as analogy. It's like seeing a really good sports team and you just want them to finish the dynasty like on top, right? And then go on.
You don't want them to go to Tampa Bay,
but you also don't want to see them like just run down the clock to the point where they're just tired and you want to see them go off to do other stuff, like get drafted to another.
There's so many shows that have done that. It's just like, oh my god.
And I'm kind of curious just for Jason Sudeikis, like what can he do next? You know what I mean?
Down by
like
2 now.
No one cares, Jack. They're listening to this not live.
Tennessee, I'm saying.
If he wanted to know, he'd be having that pulled up.
No, I want to tell him. No, but I'm okay. I'm okay as long as they ended on a high note. I mean,
right.
Obvious.
I appreciate. I mean, I this is one of those things where I think Lost does not get credit in that everything up until Lost was very American style television. It's like, oh, we want to run this, we're gonna whip this dead horse until it's fucking dead, and we gotta have 24 episodes per season and all those things like. And then because Lost, Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof only wanted 3 seasons of Lost. And then ABC said, no, we want 10. And so they compromised on 6. And so, but it's still like, but they were the first people to say, like, no, this is our vision. We want to do this and this alone. And then that's what opened the path for so many other networks to be like, no, like, we just want so many seasons and so many episodes.
Fucking Bailing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, fucking Bailing. That is that is
walk among us. You're not one of us.
That is the Fonzie jumping the shark moment, I think, of Lost. And I love Lost through and through, like front to back. But to me, I mean, I know a lot of people.
I've seen that episode twice.
I think certain fans out there, they're on that certain level of like, it's just Nikki and Paolo. And they just like, they're Nicky and shallow about it. But I'm saying Stranger in a Strange Land, that is the Fonz jumping the shark moment where you're just kind of like, are we really seriously doing a flashback episode?
Unfortunately, they had to.
I know.
If they don't stretch it out, maybe we don't get Michael Emerson. I mean,
personally, season like late season 3, 4, 5, still maybe my favorite part of Lost. Personally, anyway, sorry, sidetrack.
John, the retired guys, when is RC calling quits?
Well, we were checking.
We're on our third season, so we got another 8.
We just didn't know how to finish it. We thought Chris would get COVID, and then Jack would get COVID, and then we're gonna.
Well, I'm not gonna get COVID.
Yeah, I can't speak for Matt, but I know that Chris and I's contracts are up, and so we're really hoping for that big money.
Yes.
Well, you're hoping. I'm sorry. You might as well go on Amazing Race because nobody's not coming.
Also, if any producers out there that are listening to this and they're thinking, hey, what if we gave these guys $50,000 to do an Amazing Race style 2 teams versus, and we send them around the world. Hey, we're here for it. We're here for it. Yeah. So all we want is
I'd do it.
Televise us somewhere doing this shit, and we're good.
Yeah, 50,000 each.
However we want to do it.
It's got to be tax free too. I mean,
tax free.
I want cash.
Pay me in cash, and I'll claim like nothing. $1.
You're sitting back on your millions that you've earned from all of those earnings, and you're thinking, should I donate to Trump's lawyers or should I donate to the RCAD and get this?
I don't think anyone's saying that I should donate to Trump's lawyers.
I'm trying to like swing for the.
He isn't failing.
Trying to appeal to like a broad audience, like a broad.
What they should do with this whole situation, real quick, is just say, okay, You signed something saying that he's not allowed. He can't run for any political office ever again, and you won't go to jail. Boom.
Sure.
He goes. This is going to be a clusterfuck. I mean, it's just going to be a fucking nightmare. Do that. Everyone's happy. Move on.
I mean, from what I've been reading, it's going to get dropped next week anyhow. So there's nothing to. Yeah, because like the New York prosecutor withheld evidence from the grand jury to indict him, and now the jury knows that, so they're not going to indict him at all. So it's just going to get dropped.
Well, we'll see. Tune in next week for the continuing stories of how many lawsuits and criminal cases we can go through with this
legal talk. With now we can take a commercial break because we're at that time.
Let's take a commercial break. Anyway, yes.
My response is both to John the Retired Guy and Matt K. So we did actually that was kind of
all right
in our private message group.
I can't believe he's only
great
60.
actor. 60, yeah, it's crazy.
So for those listening at home, the question that was asked was, do you hear about paraphrasing? You hear about Lance Reddick passing away, which is super sad. I actually follow that dude on TikTok and Instagram. So for some of the video game nerds out there, and there's probably a 5 to 6 year period where I was playing Destiny. I don't know if you guys remember the game Destiny when it came out. And he actually voiced a character in the game that's kind of like a center point of the entire multiplayer universe, right? He plays this like a commander on this Tennessee 10x7. He plays this character that everybody interacts with. You have to interact with them to play this game in a multiplayer. And millions and millions and millions of people play this game. And it was really kind of like touching to see people in a video game paying tribute to him. It's like a second life type of thing, which I thought was kind of cool. But man, he's a super young guy. He was like, what, 60, 65 years old? Not even?
60.
60.
And they said he died of natural causes. I said, at 60?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
Unless
he had something going on that you never talk about, who knows? Yeah.
Well, and I mean, shouldn't everybody
seem like a good guy? So it's like, you hate to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Assholes keep living and the good people keep dying.
Yeah,
so true.
That's why I purposely go yell at a 3-year-old every day. It's like taking vitamins.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Yeah.
It's Chris is exactly. Chris is like, fuck off, get the fuck out. Like, oh yeah.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
You can't help it. You can't help but say it. It's like, God damn, shut up.
Exactly.
Then you get, you're so rude. You got to show more patience.
I got to go to work for the first time in like 7 days tomorrow. So
he's got to pull it together, and he's got COVID still, dude.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. That was great. Nick, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
That was great. Matt, I guess you were here.
What? Yeah, this was a great show.
Just want to see you paying attention.
Huh?
Again, we're still looking for that $1 million of patron.
Yeah, or just $50,000 for
cash.
This reality
I'll take $10,
TV
dude.
show
Like,
that
just
we're
send it
going to
over.
do with
Just buy me a lunch. That's all I ask for.
Buy you some calamari, Rhode Island calamari.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, that's all.
But with inflation, it's gonna be like $18. Let's go.
$18. Wow.
I've already donated $7 of my money to Jack every week so that he doesn't have to watch Hulu commercials. Please,
Cindy has already said, we're not taking Matt's money. We're sticking with the commercials.
No,
I told you that. I get that. No. I get that. I finally had to look it up. Every commercial break. Some group only want to be with you.
No.
I said, what is this commercial for? I go, oh, it's a group.
Chris, do you not agree? We're losing Chris. All right. Good night, folks. This was a great show. It was 1 in a million. We have some people to thank. And
Did
Jack
we have any
emails?
I was just looking now.
Okay. So anyway, if you'd like to help this show, and who wouldn't, and we're trending on YouTube. I think it's because the cool logo. Fuck, forgot where I was at.
If you want to support the show, you can do so. Hey, checking out what is that shit?
Something at his coffee mug.
That's
you might want to check your filters.
I like how if I just put something up here.
I think you spewed on it.
So if you want to support the show, you can support our Patreon. Right? How do you do that?
Right. Yeah. You go to chainjack.com. There's a thing. Click on to become a patron. You don't have to listen to the broadcast to do it.
No.
If that's a sticking point with you,
just specify I want all of my $2 to go to the RCA.
But at this time, we like to thank Tack from Tok. No, I'm
Thanks,
sorry.
Tack.
No, sorry.
Tack
You're
from
no longer there, Tack.
Hey, anyways, Tack, you're a fucking peach.
Tack, you're the greatest. There you go. Eckhart Richter, Glaffelter, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed, the creepy, poopy letter carrier. Thanks for what you're doing. Thanks for everyone who listened to us. Thanks for everyone who joined us in the chat. Randy, thanks for joining us on the thing. John, I know you're on a trip somewhere. You're in some hotel. Thanks for joining us. And Matt K and Matt Treese. Was there anybody
Love
else?
you all.
Chris Doran.
Sherry.
Chris Doran, your first baseman towards ACL. Just putting it out there.
No one cares.
That's all we got. I'm sure Chris does. That's all we got. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hasta luego and good
night.
Later.
See ya.
Skater.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.